are back again, live and in the flesh. Nightmare rotation. Yeah.
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 Oh.
I know y'all missed us. Like, yeah, we're back and better than ever.
And some of us sicker than ever, but we power through.
Exactly. We're powering through. We're trucking along.
So welcome back to Nightmare Rotation. I'm Phoebe.
I'm Lylah.
And I'm Jaelen.
Ew! Don't piss me off. We're just gonna get into the meat and the potatoes. Today is January 19th, and if you know, you know.
You know.
TikTok.
Rest in peace to... Did y'all see that tweet? It was like, rest in peace to Quisha L. Taekwondo.
What?
This is a sore subject for me, I fear.
Yeah, they really tried to play us for a fool. They really tried to snatch TikTok, and it wasn't even gone for a full 24 hours.
When I tell you, I literally cut people off over this TikTok ban.
Joe Biden, I just want to send this out to Joe Biden. You're a fickle old man who is senile in the brain.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Biden is still president, so Biden actually brought back TikTok.
Barely. Although Trump signed the bill to ban TikTok into
Jaelen,
law,
please.
or he introduced it.
We're talking about
Who
TikTok.
signed it? Who signed
Shut
it?
the fuck up.
That was you, Joe Biden. And don't think we're gonna forget, because we won't.
Anyway.
Count your days.
Anyways, fast forward.
TikTok ban. When I tell you I was crashing the fuck out, TikTok is me. I am TikTok. It's my livelihood. It pays the bills. Like, a sister was gonna be on the street yesterday.
Maybe it's time for a real job.
Oh, you're so lucky that you're all the way in Michigan, Jaelen, because I would literally whoop your ass. I actually genuinely, was not having it today. I wasn't having it today because I feel like, the girls might not like that one.
Speak your truth.
I'm sorry that you have to clock in every day at 5 a.m. and make drinks at Starbucks. That's not really my problem. But that doesn't change the fact that what I do is also important.
She said that's not my testimony.
And pays my bills. So I feel like some of the girls are bitter and jealous. Sorry, I said it. Not you, but I mean just in general.
Wake that up.
Because they're actually I don't know. I feel like celebrating, no matter what, celebrating the fact that people lost their livelihood is weird ass energy. And if you fucked around and didn't become a content creator when you had the opportunity to, then that's on you.
Also, beyond that too, it's just as a citizen of a country, you should not feel this joyful and jolly over your government trying to censor an app from you. What you laughing for? What's so funny?
Literally,
what you laughing for?
I hope you're not gonna be giggling for long, babe. Wait, but we have to unpack that because I feel like the most important part about this TikTok thing is TikTok or not, whatever. Whoever saves it, it's saved. We don't know how long, whatever. But that Supreme Court decision is actually a huge deal.
It really is.
Okay, yeah, I need y'all to walk me through that.
Okay,
well, I'm falling a little short here. I've been keeping up as much as I can, but because I thought that this was a hoax, the TikTok ban, she low-key stuck up on me, so I don't really know much about it. I know that it passed Congress, and then it went to the Supreme Court, and I don't know much else.
Well,
okay, so basically, TLDR, because TikTok brought the case to the Supreme Court, and TikTok didn't, but because their argument to the Supreme Court was that it was a violation of First Amendment rights, because the Supreme Court still ruled in favor of banning TikTok, it means that there is now a documented rule in favor of violation of First Amendment rights, which means that down the line, when this comes up in any sense, not just in terms of an app, but any sense of like questioning First Amendment rights or censorship, this case can be used to argue that.
Right, because the U.S. justice system is built on precedents.
Wait, but haven't they done this before?
No, if you got arrested for something tomorrow and your lawyer's argument was like, she's fine because the First Amendment of the Constitution, they can be like, well, actually, in January of 2025, TikTok versus Supreme Court, I don't know what the fucking case is called. TikTok versus Supreme Court actually said that doesn't matter. So fuck your First Amendment rights and fuck you, and we're taking your ass to jail.
It's also just the fact that the 9 Supreme Court justices don't ever unanimously vote on anything. So the fact that this was a 9-0 vote, it's like, oh, y'all were serious, huh? Y'all were serious,
right?
What about I feel like this is just the same as other censorship Supreme Court decisions, about pornography and stuff like that, shit like that.
That's not about speech. That's not about freedom of speech.
So what was TikTok's argument? I'll be the judge of this.
Freedom of speech. Do you know the First Amendment? You do. I know you majored in political science.
It did major in political science. However, I feel like more pressing, more relevant it would be I just took government and passed it for the first time.
Okay, so the First Amendment is freedom of speech, religion, and press, correct? So, freedom of speech is having a platform where you can say what you want to say. If you don't have freedom of speech, you can't say what you want. Period.
And just freedom of expression.
It doesn't matter what the medium is. It doesn't matter if it's on an app or in real life. You could be outside saying something and they can refer back to this case and be like, well, actually, we ruled this way for this case. So, yeah,
I think another reason why it's such a big deal, too, is over almost 200 million Americans use TikTok. There's only 300 million in the country. So, pretty much the entire country uses this app. And it just sets a really bad precedent for the government to be able to just randomly decide, we're going to ban this app under the guise of national security, even though all of our social medias already do the same things that we're scared that TikTok is doing. That they, whatever national threat that they might be possibly committing against us, we're already doing to the rest of the world.
Because the national threat was never the actual problem.
Right.
It's the censorship.
America.
Indeed. So,
well,
but
yeah,
they really put it in our face, though, because it didn't even last a full day. They came back today talking about President Trump had a little trick up his sleeve.
I need someone to explain to me how Trump is responsible for bringing back TikTok and he's not even president yet. How can he go against the Supreme Court ruling?
Well, for one, it's the same way he was able to obviously he is the president to be, although he hasn't been sworn.
But he's not the president until he gets sworn in.
Sure, he's not sworn in yet, but what are we gonna be playing pretensies that he's not the incoming president? All the world governments and everything that officials from countries are they're not talking to Joe Biden about what's gonna be happening for the next 4 years because they know.
No, but I mean the fact that the app was physically brought back instead, and it's not the 19th, and the Supreme Court ruled that it was banned the 19th. And
by the time you're seeing this episode, he'll have already been sworn in, though. So
don't wake that up. Oh my god.
Yes. Listen, oh my god.
January 20th, I will be commemorating none only than the Martin Luther King Jr. and nothing else is happening that day.
And I would just like to acknowledge the fact that Michelle Obama was not at that inauguration. So.
And she shouldn't be. I'm so tired of people being what is she? That's so unprofessional. Bitch, fuck y'all.
No. She absolutely ate because, I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not mature enough yet, but I didn't appreciate the way Obama was snitting and grinning in Mr. Trumpy's face at Mr. Carter's funeral. You over here laughing in your face, and this man was just saying that you wasn't an American citizen. You were ineligible to run for president just a short few years ago, and now you smiling in his face and laughing. What's
I'm
funny?
not gonna lie. If I were Michelle, I would have whooped Barack's ass when he walked back home in that door after that.
Because what's really funny, but shout out to Michelle. Always liked you more, girl.
If the girls want commentary, they'll go watch Hassan for the original thoughts from him instead of the regurgitated ones.
Don't wake that up.
You girls can't take. You girls can't take.
Keep that in the pod. Keep that in the pod.
Nope, that's getting cut too. Okay, so next up on the platter.
Why are you gay?
Let's guess ourselves.
Who are we? Who are we?
We are that.
Who are you? Wait, who are you? Who are we? We are that bitch. So, a little background. We never really introduced ourselves and what we're here for. This is Nightmare Rotation, and we're in our pajamas, getting really, cozy and cute together on a little podcast, 3 internet friends. I am Alylah, and there's also Jaelen and Phoebe, and we've been friends now for almost 10 years via the interwebs.
10?
That's crazy.
Well, not Jaelen. He's a fucking,
y'all old,
new ass,
as dirt.
Literally. We tried everything in our power to keep Jaelen away. And here he is.
Which, if you really did the math, I'm 21, so 10 years, bitch.
Right, so let's wake that. I'm
definitely a baby.
So so Phoebe was 30 talking to a 13-year-old. Are we gonna unpack that one, or we're gonna leave that alone?
Phoebe is only 24 right now, so let's not do too much. Jaelen, you were only a couple months younger than me.
Yeah, okay.
But the whole idea, the whole vibe is sleep over with your friends, FaceTime call with your friends, and yeah. We'll be here every Tuesday, 3 p.m. PST. Now, don't hold us to that, but we're
not
aiming
too
for
much.
that. We're aiming for that. And so, follow along and lock in. If you want to see us talk about literally everything, if you want to see us berate Jaelen, if you want to see us key and everything. So, yeah.
Basically, this podcast is all of the conversations we have that no one else is supposed to hear. Welcome in.
Yeah,
we're probably going to get canceled after every sentence we say. But that's just part of it. It's part of the thrill.
So, guys, what's been up in your guys' week this past week?
Let's just say the devil made me do it. First thing I want to get off my chest. Rest in peace, David Lynch. You are an insane creative, and it is insane to think about how, he had such a crazy impact on film. And he was an amazing director, painter, everything like that. And
wait, who is this?
Visionary.
Right, I'm not gonna lie.
The director of Twin Peaks, one of the best shows literally ever. And he
the
also
restaurant?
directed Dune, Twin Peaks.
Yeah, the restaurant?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Child, we've been mourning someone every week. Last week it was Tony Todd. This week it's David Lynch. Can y'all
and
stop
it's
dying?
always people you don't know. It's so funny.
Literally. Well, honestly, that's my lore. I feel like as you guys get to know me, you'll know that, I can get down with the politics. I can get down with the advice, relationships. I don't know a goddamn thing about pop culture. You start naming names of celebrities, you lost me. But that's what these
Which is so
funny.
There's a trade-off here because, as you can see, my face is blank the entire time they're talking about this whole Trump thing. But I can give you a list of things that Tony Todd and David Lynch have done. That just shows the dynamic between us.
Name them.
All right, now I ain't got all the time in the world. But one thing I did want to mention, I'm Lylah and I'm an Aries. Aries sun.
We could tell.
Those crash outs be crazy.
Crazy crash outs. I'm an Olivia Rodrigo level emotional crash out. And also a Nicki Minaj, crash out. Anyways,
You ate
Clock
that.
that.
You ate that.
At least you're
However-
self-aware.
Yeah.
mhm.
That's
Also,
the first
Saggy
step to
moon.
recovery is acknowledging it. So
You're a
Saggy moon
Sagittarius
and
moon.
Sagittarius
This is-
moon and Pisces rising and Aquarius Venus.
You want to
Yeah,
talk
I'm
about
good.
nightmare rotation? It's literally
Jesus be
Lylah
offense.
like that.
No, for
Jesus
real.
be offense.
I don't know how I live like this. What
Oh
about
my
everyone else?
God.
What have we got here? And then melting
Well,
pot.
I'm Phoebe.
you guys could probably. Oh,
Yeah, that
Go
just
ahead.
shows
Go ahead.
your whole sign. Go for it.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yeah, just go ahead and go. Just go ahead and go. Yeah.
Unlike you, I could sit back and relax and be patient. You go for it.
Okay. Well, guys, you probably could tell, but I'm a Leo. Shout out to the Leo. Shout out to the Leos. And my rising is a Scorpio, and my moon is an Aquarius.
You're also
Oh, that's
sick.
why you are the way that you are.
Right. I never knew that.
Yeah. I didn't know that
Monsters.
either, actually.
It's the
Possum?
Scorpio. It's the Scorpio.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your Mars is in 5150.
Wait, what's your Venus?
Kinda.
Because
My Venus is in Cancer.
Oh,
That checks
yeah.
out.
It was bad for
it
me.
checks
It was
out for
bad for
sure.
me.
Mine is too.
Yeah, it was. We were there.
My Venus in Cancer doesn't really make sense, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll talk about that some other time. I am Phoebe, but you can call me Phoebes. I am a Cancer sun. So sweet, so kind, so thoughtful. Virgo rising and a Libra moon.
Ooh, Virgo rising? That's all checking out here. Okay.
So I'm basically just like the sweetest, most caring, loving person you'll meet. Unlike these two, I don't really crash out on people. I have my own personal internal crash outs, but it doesn't usually involve other people.
I don't crash out on people. I'm like the least crash outiest person ever.
You're nasty as fuck. You have
don't make
actually, Jaelen, I'm not gonna lie, you have the nastiest mouth out of anyone I've ever met. Like, I can't.
I will
is-
also agree with that.
That is so untrue. You're a liar, and the truth is not in you.
When you get nasty, like, you go low. Like, I don't know anyone that goes lower than you. It is so sick. Like, you'll think of and I'm a Cancer, so we're like, usually, like, we think of things, we just don't say them until, like, you've really pushed us off a cliff. But you somehow beat me in my thoughts. Like,
That
you
is
go
so,
even lower. And you get real nasty.
I am the nicest person I know. Literally,
No,
I wouldn't hurt a fly.
Because now this is giving narcissism.
That is the honest to God truth. I wouldn't hurt a fly.
Jaelen, let's be serious here.
Well, I'm
Like,
very
you
serious.
have to be able to acknowledge that, like, when you get nasty, you get really fucking nasty.
See, that's the thing, though. Okay, it takes a lot for me to get there. So if you got me there, it probably was earned and deserved.
It really doesn't take that much.
It really doesn't. I can name a couple of times in the group chat within the last month. You've been
Let's
getting
hear it.
pretty nasty.
Let's hear it.
What about what you did to Sarah?
Oh my God! And then the thing, the thing they're not gonna mention too is they was right behind me. Egging,
No,
not even
Who was
egging
right
it.
behind?
Huh? Oh, now we're gonna play silly. We're gonna play Possum. No, we don't know.
Hey! Stop. It's a sensitive subject. Y'all, I'm sorry
Wait,
I
sorry.
have to say this.
I didn't mean to trigger
We
you. I'm
filmed-
sorry.
We filmed an episode 2 the other day that didn't... That's a deep cut. May come out one day.
Yeah, I might get that someday.
Might get that one day. But...
Not on
at the end of
Jalen's
the
watch.
episode- Actually, I don't think Phoebe knows this at
Right,
all.
I
But
don't
at the
think
end
you-
of the
I don't-
episode...
Yeah.
Phoebe's connection was cutting out hella, like
Like a lot.
like a lot. And basically, I ordered food because at this point we spent too long filming. It's 11 p.m. We started filming at like 6 or something crazy. And I ordered food, Taco Bell, and I leave the food out for maybe 10, 15 minutes because I didn't get the notification, because at this point, I'm on sleep mode on my phone. Tell me why. I open the door, there's a possum playing in my fucking food. I sat there, this is like right after we filmed our episode. I looked at it, I looked at my dog right next to it, I looked back at it, and I shut the door in silence. And I walked into the room and started crying to Jaelen. And
y'all, when I tell you,
me and Jaelen, like, I was hysterical.
She was going through it.
Were you actually crying?
No, like actually.
Yeah, actually crying. Like, I was actually crying.
Wait, what did Cookie do?
Nothing. Her fucking bitch ass.
Right. Standing there looking crazy.
Sat there and did
no
nothing.
Protection. Didn't lend no protection.
Fact,
didn't lend no nothing.
Cookie's my dog, but in fact, some may argue that she was in cahoots. She done set me up.
Don't wake that up.
Wait,
Don't
so
wake
you
that
just
up.
left the food outside?
That was another crash out. That was the crash out of the century. So basically what ends up happening is I had to leave it, but then my sister asked me what happened, and she's such a fucking G. She went out there and was about to fight the fucking possum. She grabbed the food and brought it in, served it to me like, do you want it? Do I look like I want it? That possum was playing in that food.
And I know because you were mad. I know because you were mad, you crashed the fuck out.
She was so hungry too. She was so hungry. Yeah.
It was so bad. Like, I was just crying, and then me and Jaelen were on the phone with Uber Eats.
Yeah, I had to coach her through. I had to coach her through talking to the Uber Eats man so she could get her Uber Eats credits.
It was. So
I was like,
now sit. After that,
I was like, say this and say this.
I had to take the L. It was sick.
I can't believe you never told me about this.
It's because it was all in the, like, when I tell you, it just made me sick to my stomach to even think about it. I didn't tell anyone after that. I told one person, and I was like, I can never speak of this because it dead ass like makes me itch thinking about there's a possum lingering around my house now because it knows that we get food delivered. You know what I mean? So now it's like outside my mom's car, like tormenting me.
She said, I was waiting for you at the door.
Oh yeah, she clocked me. She got me good.
Long story short though, she did get her Uber Eats credits, and yeah. Possum, wherever you might be on the lookout. Watch your back, because you will be dealt with.
No, I think Lylah will be dealt with, because it sounds like the possum's just waiting for her to order the next meal.
No, for real. And I swear to God, I deleted that app after. I took that L and moved in silence. Like, but I have to go in person now because any food delivery is dead ass risking it all. Like,
why don't you just have them hand deliver it to you?
Because who's trying to get hand deliveries from Uber? No, leave it at the door.
Well, if you have a possum that you're racing to the food, I certainly would.
Well, she does. Touche.
Well, moving forward, I will be doing that. Okay. So,
let me ask y'all a question. Have you ever picked cotton before?
I can't say I have.
No, I have not, actually.
Why do you ask?
Well, you know, I was scrolling through my memory bank, going through like some past memories of like school, and you know, I had some like really eccentric teachers, and there's one that sticks out to me, and I never really realized like how this could have been interpreted back then, because like I was experiencing it and I didn't really see that big of a deal with it, and I was like, wait, this is kind of like a really hands-on experience that I've never experienced before. My history teacher, once, we were learning about American history, and...
How old were you?
14.
Nah, you should have known better. You should have known better.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Okay.
For real.
So we were learning about, like, you know, American slavery and, like, the institution, and, like, obviously a huge part of, like, the Southern exports was cotton, right? The slaves had to pick the cotton. And so, like, I guess to sort of, like, give us, like, a little hands-on, what's the word? Tactile experience. My teacher, who was a white woman, and I will say, like, I need to preface this by saying she was such an amazing teacher. Like, literally top 3. Like,
wait. What are you saying?
Hear me out. Best top 3 teachers I ever had. Like, everything she taught me stuck with me. Like,
I'm sure it
Are
did.
you for real?
I'm sure it sure did.
Okay, well, so we're learning about slavery, and one day she brings us in. Mind you, I've never seen cotton before, like raw cotton. She brings us in cotton plants, right? And she passes them out to everyone. Everyone got a little cotton plant. And she did say, you don't have to participate in this if you don't want to. She did.
Ooh.
She did.
She threw you a bone or two? And no, wait, can we unpack the fact that Jaelen, like, is one of the people that wanted to? Like, what? Like, having the choice to do it or to not do it, and he chose to do it.
She, I don't think, honestly, anyone in our class sat out, and there were multiple, well, not multiple, there was maybe, like, we had a solid 5 or 6 black people in that class. But, so she's passing out the cotton things, and then she pretended to be the slave master.
Jaelen, no. Jaelen, it was like where this is going.
It was like a joke, like not a joke, but like she was like, work harder.
What, Jaelen? This is the craziest shit I've ever.
Jaelen, no.
We had to pick.
This is your favorite teacher?
Okay, I'm going to circle back, okay? I'm going to circle back to all of this. But, yeah, she was, like, yelling at the class while we were supposed to be taking the cotton off the stem or whatever. And all that to say, I was looking back on these things, and I'm like, maybe she shouldn't have done that. But it stuck out to me as, like, I feel like she was really going out of her way to make learning and, like, history, like, more, like, tactile, more, like...
Interactive?
Yeah, more interactive. See, walk with me. Like more interactive, more like I remember another time we made grits in class one time. She made us.
Wait, she DTM, bro. She's doing. She has a weird slave fantasy. Like, what's going on?
No, this is too far. Because the cotton picking to grits pipeline is crazy.
But it just got me thinking, like, before that, y'all, I had never seen... Okay, mind you, I don't even think I fully understood the fact that, like, cotton grew out of the ground. So, like, let me put you in the headspace of me, like, this is my first time seeing a real-life cotton plant. And, like, I don't know, I just thought it was kind of... it was different. And it's definitely something that stuck with me. And... I just appreciate how far she was willing to go to, teach a lesson, to make the lesson plan. So, shout out to Miss.
Are you going to say her name?
You should say it,
honestly, at this point. We are friends on Facebook, though, so shout out to you, girl, if you ever see this. Love you.
I think I know. Does her name start with a G?
It sure does.
Are you serious?
I know exactly who that is.
It does.
My history goes way back because I know her because she was Sarah's favorite teacher.
I'm telling you.
Now Sarah getting canceled too.
I'm trying to tell y'all, she was like she was such a gentle soul, and she was so passionate about teaching.
I'm sure she was, especially when she got to role play Slave Master. Okay, wait, but I have something similar because I do feel like as kids we do these things and we're like tee hee hee hee, and then we look back like wait a damn minute. So at my school we didn't take it so far as the slave thing. That's like a little too far, but we did have something called the immigration simulation. And we were learning that that was in 3rd grade. We were learning about immigration. We did like a field trip to Ellis Island. Those of you know I live in New York. We did a field trip to Ellis Island, and then we got back to school and we had to write out our family tree. And we wrote out our family tree, and then we were supposed to bring it back to the teacher, and we would choose a country from our family tree, and we would come to the immigration simulation dressed up as someone from that country. Now,
I'm scared where this is going.
Now, this is all fun and games until I wrote out my family tree and I was like, now wait a minute, why all my family from the U.S.? I don't have a country to be from. So I'm like, I wasn't really connecting the dots. Like, I was only in 3rd grade. But I went to my teacher and I was like, Miss, actually cut that. I was like, what do I do? Because all my family is either from New York or Washington, D.C. That's it. And he was like, It was like, this one wasn't really thought through. He was like, just choose a country. I was like, okay. So I chose Spain.
Heaven.
Now, the problem with this is, number one, you got to come dressed up as in the cultural wear. And number two, your parents, because ideally your parents are connected to that culture. So your parents have to cook the food from that culture and bring it in on the day of the immigration simulation. So why I have making empanada?
I'm crying. Not Brooke making empanadas, bro.
She was playing the role. She was fulfilling the role.
I feel like she's just as messy for participating.
She ate that.
Don't wake that up. I had my black mother standing in the kitchen slaving away over some empanadas for my immigration simulation. And then the next day I showed up to school with all the empanadas and I was wearing like a flamenco outfit. And
they were like, yes, la negrita.
And then the immigration simulation was actually crazy though, because like each room was like a different point of entry into Ellis Island, and they were like, they would scream at you. Like they hired parents to like work the simulation. So like some of the parents that spoke a different language were like yelling at us in different languages.
What?
Like it was actually I think that might have been the most traumatizing day of my life. Like they would yell, they would call us names, like they wanted us to feel like we were immigrants coming off the boat into Ellis Island.
What?
Needless to say, fast forward 2020, George Floyd. They made this students made this Instagram account called Black at Blank. I'm not gonna say the school name. And they started like posting like anonymous posts about things that were going on in the school that were like clearly racist. And so after that, they took away the immigration simulation. But we had a lot of.
It didn't age well.
It didn't. We had a lot. We also had a Japanese festival where we all came to school in kimonos. And we had an Egyptian festival where we all came to
Okay,
school.
but wait, no shade though. I think the Japanese like that though. Like, I think that like, I feel like in America, like we have like obviously because of the history, like we have like a lot of cultural sensitivities, but like I feel like a lot of other countries, like when you do things from their culture, they like it, they like appreciate it, they like are like, oh my god, someone is like acknowledging my like culture that's like so not like the mainstream or whatever.
That's
appropriation
real,
versus
but like
appreciation.
I feel like that's real, but like
it does need to be done tastefully though, I will say. Right. You have to do it, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like there's any reason why like a predominantly white institution class full of 60 white rich New York City kids should be all coming into school in kimonos. Like,
I'm crying.
I'm sorry. And I think the Egyptian
all in the
festival
pursuit of education. I think the immigration station was probably a little bit more. I think that was probably a little worse than the picking cotton in class. But that's just me, though. But that's just me.
Do you really?
Well, for me, we had a similar situation. However, nunca negro. So, I just dressed up as Mexico. But I didn't really know anything about being Mexican, like, really, because I'm black-ish. So, like, so I had to do all this research on Mexico. I didn't understand that they had all these, like,
you are Mexican.
So I had on a white little dress, and like we couldn't buy the actual authentic dress, so we like colored it in with a marker, like a little dot, like I don't know. And I came to school as a little Mexican girl, but I didn't understand what it meant at all because I remember we had this exact conversation with me and my mom, like what were we gonna do because I'm black, and she dressed me up as a little Mexican girl, and the rest was history. We didn't do any food like that though, but yeah.
Y'all didn't bring no
when I was
tacos?
younger, I used to tell people that I was Mexican.
What?
I used to tell people I was from California. No shade.
Basically, I had
You
these
are
family.
so annoying.
I had these family friends, and they lived next door to us, and they were Mexican, and I loved them, and like we were family. Like it felt like we were family. So because they were Mexican, I just started telling people I was Mexican, and then like,
And those
they started to get really confused because like they started meeting my family members and being like, "Is the Mexican in the room with us?" Like,
she was like, "Soy la negrita."
fast forward to 2020, those people are now Trump supporters. Love you.
Build the wall.
right?
No, literally. We love them, but
wait, how'd you do that heart thing?
That is called character development.
Why doesn't mine work?
My God, that is so cool.
They're racist. Mine doesn't work.
Nunca negro. Nunca negro.
They only let the Mexicans do it.
It should work for you then too, right?
The prophecy has been fulfilled.
They hate black
Soy
women.
la mexicana.
Wait, guys, I want to speak something into existence. I am in my divine feminine era. Okay, so when I'm walking down the street, right, I'm usually like this. I'm mean mugging. Like, I have like, when we're in New York and stuff, like, I'm like hunched over like this. Phoebe's like, fix your fucking back. And I never do.
That's so real. I do say that.
Fix
She's like, fix your posture. Why do you have your neck like that? Anyways, I have picked up a new practice in which I roll my shoulders back when I'm walking, and I keep my chin level. And I think I got this from Emergency Intercom because True Phillips said he walks with his chin up now. He looks up when he walks, and then I started doing that. And when I tell you, I've been attracting the craziest energy. Like, people can sense it. Everything's coming to me right now.
Wait, Phoebe, what's the thing where like? What's the thing where it's like you're supposed to act like there's like a string in your back and like?
Oh, I always say, like, as if there's a string attached to the bottom of your shoulder blade and someone's pulling it down into your back. Okay. Then from your head,
God, this is so tea.
Then there's a string attached to the top of your head and someone's pulling it up. So it's that opposition of like down and up. Oh, the posture is tea.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you. Shout out to Phoebe the ballerina. I've been locked in watching these Twitch Rizz streams. What? I don't know what that means. Let me explain this shit to y'all. So there's this guy. Shout out to him, Reaper Kai 7 on... Actually, no free promo. Cut that. But there's this guy on TikTok Live. Well, before TikTok was banned, he would be on live every night. And he would do helping his viewers Rizz. So his viewers would go on and screen share. And he would be on their hinge and is helping them shoot as many shots as possible. So...
No.
I feel like that's what I do for you every night.
Yeah. Not me. Oh my God, I'm taking... No, I'm not taking. Not me. No more. We've retired that. But... basically, this guy is on there getting help with his Rizz, right? He shows his profile. He's low-key hella AI. Like, he's definitely catfishing. His photos are hella edited, like, blurry as fuck. And he's trying to shoot shots, whatever. He goes onto another app. His name's a different name on that app. Like, at first his name is Michael, and now it's Leo. And we're like, okay, fuck is going on here? And he claims to have been straight. However, on the second app, there's men and he's chatting with. And the more we get more deep into the lore, he's obviously very DL. And, like, Everyone, like, and it's so fucking funny because everyone, like, every time something, like, a man would show up on screen, the guy would jump off screen and start bust out laughing, and then go back and be like, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, like, what have you got going on here? And then the guy ends up being like, oh, like, sorry for, like, this zesty shit, and they're like, wait, we don't care that you're gay, we care that you're, like, lying about it, like, what the fuck? Like, we would help you rizz up the man, too. But basically, every night, the whole premise of this Twitch stream is that, like, he's helping his viewers rizz, and it's so fucking funny and brain rot that, like, I'm on this deep, dark side of TikTok now because all I consume is Kai Cenat videos that, like, I be in these Twitch rizz streams helping them rizz. Talking about, I don't even know.
Sending thoughts and prayers.
2 weeks ago, I was invited to go on a ski trip with Kai Cenat.
Oh my god, really?
Bitch, you can't be for real.
And it's so random because I don't even know who the fuck that is.
I love Kai Cenat. Like, why does everything happen to everyone else? Like, no that's shade, so insane that you don't know who that is. He's literally the most popular person in the world.
Yeah, he's like the most famous.
I beg to differ.
He's probably number 2. I'd say my top streamer is not even my top streamer, but top streamer, like, period. I would say it's probably Speed. Although Speed's content isn't really for me.
I don't know who that is either.
You don't know Speed either? Like, where do you live, under a rock?
Where do you have time to sit and watch these streams all day?
Kai Cenat
you never answer your fucking phone.
This is the same way Phoebe be on TikTok live in that jazz. What's that guy that plays the bass? Bitch, she be locked in, clocking in hours, thirst strapping on TikTok live.
Also, as a fellow New Yorker, you should know that Kai Cenat is the one who did the big riot in, what was it, Union Square?
Wait, I remember that. I just didn't know who it was.
Yes, and all the kids was jumping on people's windshields and stomping people's cars in. It was.
That was especially crazy because I just know those kids were from, like, New Jersey because we don't give a fuck about anyone here like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Nah, they're from the Bronx. From the X.
From the X.
From the X.
Word to my mother. I'm good at every hood in the Bronx. Those my people in the Bronx. Word to.
Ew, your New York accent is horrible.
Word to.
Word to my mother.
Jaelen wants to be a New Yorker so bad, and it's not happening.
I really lives the New York lifestyle. Like, word to my mother. Word to my chops.
Oh my god, Jaelen is so annoying in New York. Like, the only time Jaelen can piss me off more than probably dealing with this podcast is when we're in New York.
Phoebe can't take the fact that I'm a city boy.
You're not.
It just is in my nature.
Boy that lives in the suburbs.
It's just in my nature. Like, I'm naturally a city boy.
I think we should get into some of Jalen's New York mishaps.
Oh, if you want Jaelen to live to see another day, I don't know if that's safe.
They had the best time of their lives in New York with me. Don't let them paint this story, paint this picture like they were living for the doll. They was living for the doll.
Lylah, the floor is yours. The floor is yours.
So, Jaelen, I have been to New York 2 times. Jaelen has somehow managed to ruin both of those trips for me. Single-handedly. Not a single other person has ever given me problems. Actually, if I can name every single trip besides maybe California trip number 1, Jaelen has ruined every other trip for me. Coachella, pissed as fuck at Jaelen. Arguing with Jaelen in the room. Another one, New York. Well, Jaelen pissed me the fuck off, but, like, New York number 1 was fine. New York number 2,
New York number 1 was not fine. New York number 1 was not fine.
That's true.
Talk about the train. The train was crazy.
Yeah, child.
This is some insight into Jalen's lore.
Yeah.
I don't remember what you're talking about. What train? Oh, wait, I remember, actually. I do.
So let's just say me, Yuge, and Jaelen were in a throuple. Well, me and Yuge, we decided to take our love elsewhere. And we sort of, like, we would hold hands without Jaelen. Jaelen was slowly starting to get a little bit bitter that me and Yuge were boyfriend-girlfriend, and he wasn't involved. So, basically, Jaelen was starting to get hella pissy that Huge was like the boss of everything, and that Huge was like low-key like fucking with the doll and not him.
Mind you, Huge was my twin, not
Is that
not
really
Alylah's
why?
twin.
All of this was out of jealousy?
It wasn't
100%.
jealousy. Huge was acting funny, and so I had to show them that I could be even funnier. You want to be funny? I can be hysterical.
There was nothing funny about.
So,
do you want to know something? I've never told Jaelen this, but me and Huge is like a hella paranoid, so Huge is feeding me like delusions, and like he was like, Jaelen is gonna murder us in our sleep. Like, me and Huge slept in the bed together, and we would lock the doors because we thought Jaelen was gonna murder us in our sleep. Like, we would lock the doors and put all of our belongings in our room underneath the bed because we thought Jaelen was going to fuck us up.
Well, good on Huge, because a couple of attempts were made. So good.
I'm
good
sure
foresight.
they were, because one time we came home and my iPad was disheveled, and I was like,
I remember you texted me about that.
Jaelen went through my iPad.
I was like,
Jaelen went through my iPad. And then
you texted me about that
from that moment on, I've never once in my entire life had a password on my iPad, but to this day, I will show y'all the iPad. I have a long-ass password on my iPad because I have fears that Jalen's gonna go through my fucking iPad one day, and he will find me talking shit, because of course I do that on day.
Now we're getting creative.
Completely forgot about that. Lylah called me crashing out. She was like, I need to come over to your apartment right now. Jaelen went through my iPad.
And this is my first time hearing of all of this. Like, do y'all see how
like we never told him that?
I live in these people's heads. I be in there.
Okay, Jaelen, since TikTok is coming to an end, do you have a secret you want to tell us? Did you or did you not
he went
go
through
the
iPad?
No, actually, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like,
you know what's funny? Jaelen will take that to the grave. We know he went through Sarah's iPad that one day, and he still won't admit that. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that was years ago, and he still won't admit that.
That's how you knew he went
now
through
we're getting
yours,
creative.
because that already happened.
Because he already did it one time, so I was like, he went through mine. And I didn't have any password on mine, and it was connected to my iMessages. So, of course, he's going to go through my iPad.
First of all, what would I even be going through your iPad for? My issue was with Huge, not with you in the first place.
So, you can see
you wanted to see
with Huge on there.
Because if I really think back to the first New York trip, again, my problem was with the girls on this couch, not on that couch. So Huge was the one that had to get the 1-2, not you.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing that I really should have treated y'all the same, because y'all was plotting behind my back anyway. See, that's why it be your own.
Nobody was plotting. We were protecting ourselves.
POV, Jaelen is Ted Bundy.
And mind you, Huge was sleeping in the bed with me in the first New York trip, so don't wake that up too.
Yeah, and that's why you started sleeping in my bed. I never want to share a bed with another human being, besides my family. Huge and I had to share a bed.
Oh my god, Jaelen is so annoying to share a bed with.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
I've actually never shared a bed with Jaelen.
Oh my god, I'm getting war flashbacks. Huge was so mean to me that trip. I will never forget it. And that's why I kicked him. Actually,
when Jaelen called Huge a bitch, and Jaelen claims to not curse, and we have it on video.
We have it on video, y'all. My iPad has been through it.
I'm pretty sure I said... What did I say? I was like, you're a BICTH.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, mind you, we haven't even gotten to the train part.
And see, that was another, and I can't even really recall what happened that time, but they had pissed me off so bad that I was like, it came time to get off the bus or off the train. They got up, started getting off. I said, I'm staying right here. I'm not getting off. Go ahead.
Wait, guys.
Mind you, we did nothing at that point.
Oh, we literally just left the escape room. Like, everyone was having such a good time. So, but the craziest part of all is that if you're a New Yorker, you know this. If you're not, let me explain and break it down for you. There is only one train in New York City that has only 2 stops. The S train. It goes from 42nd Street, Times Square, to Grand Central, and back. Boom, 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 back and forth, back and forth. the whole train ride is 30 seconds. So we got
This
on
how
the
you
train.
know they pissed me off.
We got on the train at Grand Central, and Jaelen was like, I'm just going to stay on. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, there's nowhere to go. Like, this train is going right back where we just left from 30 seconds ago. And he was like, I'm staying. Now you have Allie over here being like, Phoebe, do something. Mind you, I am the type, like, I'm going to tell you once. And then I'm going to tell you twice. And then I don't give a fuck what happens to you.
And that's what I appreciate about Phoebe.
I can only warn you so many times.
It was like something out of a movie. They were getting off the stop. I was staying on. They're like, Jaelen, come. I was like, no, I'm leaving. I gotta go my own way. And yeah.
Mind you, his own way was back and forth on the same train for 3 hours.
Yes,
and he was asleep in a Montclair in Balenciagas. Like,
mind you, this is like post-COVID where like everyone was screaming, crying, and throwing up about New York City being so dangerous. And Jaelen was sitting in the biggest Montclair jacket with Balenciagas and some sunglasses. I don't know. Point is,
I love the train. Like, I was just riding the train. Like, I love the New York City subway. Shout out to the MTA. Love y'all down.
So my question for the girls today is, so I have a bit of a crush on someone, and when I was talking to that person, they mentioned that their celebrity crush is Ice Spice. And I guess my question to you guys is it better to have the celebrity crush look like you, or is it or is that not good? Like, or like, for example, their ex. What if their ex looks exactly like you? What do? Should you be offended?
I have a problematic answer that a lot of people might not agree with, but it must be said. They shouldn't have no celebrity crushes, period. Why are you attracted to other people when you're talking to me?
Jaelen.
No,
that's
crazy.
You're sick. You're so sick.
Sorry, that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Could you tell the story about your ex and his celebrity crush? Like, okay, y'all, we need to compare these stories and see which one's worse.
Okay, no, because I fear mine.
I don't think I've heard this story.
Worse.
Yours is way worse. I'm not gonna hold you. I just wanted the attention.
Mind you, X is such a strong word. Like, that's
okay. We gotta
steamroll it. Okay. Anyway, to make a long story short, it was Timothy Chalakuchi. Like, what? What? Like, please be serious.
Jaelen is black.
AF, as some might say. Like
AF.
Like Timothy Chalamet. And no shade, I don't like, besides the fact that like I have like an unreasonable dislike for him and the fact that he's dating Kylie, like I just don't, he doesn't do it for me. He just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I'm not Club Chalamet, sorry y'all.
Club Chalamet. Okay, guys. I guess the question is it supposed to look like you or not look like you? Because you don't want to be an
I gave
object,
my answer.
But then again,
I feel like it's better if it looks like you. That means that you're their type.
Yeah, but okay, so what about their ex? What if their ex looks exactly like you? You should be like, what the fuck's going on here? Or should you be like, you know what, you know me and my history, my type is very specific. So I can't really like judge, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what the answer's supposed to be.
I feel like it's way better if they look like you. If they don't, to me, that tells me that you're not their type, and down the line, you're not going to be the one they choose in the end.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay,
true.
so it's a good thing.
But still, he shouldn't have any wandering eyes. He should not be even conceiving emotions in that way toward another female. So, but, I mean, whatever.
Because I do want to follow it up with the fact that the celebrity crushes I gave him, none of them like him at all. I said my celebrity crush is Seth Rogen, and he was like, "Oh, what do you like about him?" So.
Also, right. That's a good answer, actually.
I'm screaming at you with the Vicks Vapor Rub this whole episode.
No, literally, like
Ice Spice is kind of washed now. No shade. No shade. She's kind of washed. So, like, I feel like he could do better. He could do, like, what about,
his other one was SZA, so that's based.
Okay.
Period.
He ate that.
I love that for him. Well, you guys are going to have to tune in next week to find out about Fine Shit.
Oh, now you're dragging it because now she's going to, like, force me to talk about something.
It's been another fun week with you.
It surely has.
And
this has been Nightmare Rotation.
Yeah.
Coming at y'all live with another banger.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, not see you next
Don't
Tuesday.
hold us to it. See you next Tuesday.